I think one of the craziest aspects to this film is that the main character, Mickey Barnes, played by Robert Pattinson, gets killed over and over again for experimental purposes.
There's just so much that the VFX has to help with the storytelling of it all, whether it's creating the planet or the spaceship, but it's also the creepers.
정말 이제 과거에도 옥자라는 영화에서 이제 그 VFX 크리처를 만들어 본 적이 있고 그래서
This film has a premise unlike anything I've seen, with Mickey Barnes, an expendable, a disposable worker on a human expedition to colonize the ice world, Nibelheim.
3, 2, 1, action!
It was kind of immediately collaborative in terms of asking me what I thought about Nasha, if some of the lines were right and stuff like that. And that's been an ongoing conversation that we've been having.
Mickey's unique ability is that after his death, a new body is regenerated, with his memories intact, allowing him to be reprinted.
He's interested in those bigger topics and those harder themes of the rich and the poor and the disparity between the two and the injustices of people abusing their power, but always with a sense of making fun at the worst parts of humanity.
Today we wanted to explore this character's unique situation and what it was like filming for this movie.
There is a theme of colonialism, there's a theme of kind of classism, there's this mix of church and state and business. There's this idea that, some people are sacrificial or less valuable than others.
But before we get into more of these moments, today's trivia question. Robert Pattinson is of course most known for his role in Twilight, but what was the book that inspired that film released? Leave your guesses in the comments down below and stick around till the end of the video to find out if your answer was correct.
He edits at the same time, and so you can really watch what you're doing, if it's fitting into the scene, and it's an extremely collaborative process.
He's a real filmmaker. You can see in his process, he's very focused. When we started to film, it was almost like the lens had been drawn into the storyboard.
Directed by Bong Joon Ho, features a talented cast including Robert Pattinson, Naomi Ackie, Yeun, Mark Ruffalo, and Toni Collette.
And 3, 2, 1, action!
It's a complicated role and world to imagine yourself.
writing process. It's very lonely and very painful. 하기 싫어 어떨 때는. It's very tough. But 해야만 하죠. 라이터 디렉터로서 작가 겸 감독으로서 되게 오랜 세월.
Pattinson discusses his character Mickey Barnes and the concept of multiple regenerating versions of himself in a space colonization mission. He also shares his initial reaction to the script in a creative collaboration with the director.
You then turn up on the day and you know what you're doing. It's not, oh, have we got the right stuff? No, this is the right stuff.
By the end, I'm scared about going into another movie and shooting conventionally. The way director Bong shoots and directs, it's very odd and it's very unexpected. It's kind of very refreshing for people, and I think you feel extremely free.
Mickey 17 is based on Edward Ashton's novel Mickey 7, a mind-bending tale set in a future where humans colonize alien worlds.
We didn't want it to be this unrecognizable future.
Looks expensive.
Could be 5 years from now, could be 10 years from now.
마치 무슨 LA에서 뉴욕 가는 무슨 비행기, 레드아이 비행기 타듯이 그냥 우주선을 타고 떠나는데 그냥 되게 일상적인 느낌으로 가요.
One of the first things I had to do with director Bong was to design the ship.
While Parasite explored class politics through the upstairs-downstairs dynamic between the three families in the Park House, Mickey 17 examines the dehumanization of workers aboard a spacecraft from a completely different perspective.
사실 정치적인 풍자, political satire만을 위해서 영화를 만들지는 않는데 영화가 그런 무슨 프로파간다가 되는 거는 되게 싫어하기 때문에 그냥 그 자체로 재밌는 아름다운 영화를 만들려고 하죠. 근데 그 아름다움의 중간에 이제 미키가 있었던 거고.
As I share my excitement for this film, I want to mention we are currently doing a giveaway. Share what you were most excited for with this project, and the best comment will win a $25 Fandango gift card where you can purchase a full movie with added bonus features. Comment down below and one winner will be chosen.
The common themes I've found in his films are usually around class and how people treat each other in terms of class. And, you know, in reading the script, that's what I found. I was like, oh, this is another kind of investigation on that idea of who is disposable and who is not.
The narrative centers on Mickey, an expendable human who can be cloned every time he dies during dangerous missions. But here's the twist. Mickey's last clone survives when he shouldn't, and his existence threatens to unravel the fragile balance between his kind and the colonizers.
So I got all of my scenes storyboarded. I didn't know how to read this before. I was like, why are they giving me a storyboard? I've never got a storyboard. But quickly I come to realize that that's how we're shooting. It takes a different kind of mindset to approach that as an actor.
One highlight feature production designer and effects supervisor explained how they created the human printer that makes a new Mickey after the old one dies. The printer is an essential device in the film and they needed to make it feel real, both in the sense of fitting into this drab, rundown dystopian world and also like it actually worked.
I find it so freeing to be able to focus on one moment and not have to contain an entire scene in my mind and body. By the end, I was like, I don't think I want to work any other way. I really loved it.
It's fun to work with him because he doesn't only direct you. You can exchange with him, or you can share things with him.
Once the art department developed the printer's design, the team was enlisted to build it. It started with a tube and then they built their own conveyor belt inside of it.
We wanted it to feel more like a dilapidated cargo ship.
What was really inspiring was the idea of looking at functional vessels. Like a submarine. A submarine has two engines, so if one fails, there's another one that can kick in, which means the actual footprint of a submarine looks much bigger than the living space.
With the rich house in Parasite, it was important to create an illusion for the audience, said Bong. The first 20 minutes of the film starts with introducing all the spaces in that rich house so that by the end, the audience feels like they have seen the entirety of that house, and then the twist of a secret family living in the basement.
He's genius at is telling the story through images that he's created and designed.
It can be a little weird at first, but you get used to it. As an actor, you never get to play the whole scene. You're just playing the moment.
So you have the comic book version in front of you of exactly how it's going to play out.
Some of the people I took as a reference were some of Korea's bad leaders of the past or dictators from elsewhere, but I didn't use any actual politicians from today, Bong said.
All of his work has this powerful social element to it, and so it feels like the perfect fit for director Bong.
I love the fact that he's always making a comment on the world.
I created Ruffalo's character in a comical way by drawing inspiration from past figures, but since history always repeats itself, it might seem like I'm referring to someone in the present, Bong added.
They just look completely out of place on the ship. Red's Marshall's signature color. And Ilfa, she wears a lot of pink.
It's all so extreme, especially when you compare it to what the rest of these people have to wear.
We just kind of think that we're above everyone else, and we do look that way.
The director said that he strove to infuse his story with as much emotional realism as possible, despite his fantastical elements.
Director Bong kind of warned me at the beginning and saying it's quite a shock to the system when you don't shoot coverage. I mean, it's work on every single movie ever, and it's quite a particular way of working. And then it's just right from day one, we were shooting one line and moving on, and generally one line from the middle of the scene.
And as far as the answer to our trivia question, in the first book in the Twilight series was released in 2005.
On the ship, we're very aware that there's this class division.
This expanding divide between the haves and have-nots. When you see these two, they just pop, and then when you see their living space, it's just gilded and grotesque.
But we wanted to turn this around to you guys. What do you think about all these moments? Which one was your favorite, and what did you think about this storyline? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on for more videos just like this. That's it for today though. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video. Bye guys.
They can get to him just pulling the sleeves apart, and they can inject him or do an experiment on him. He even has director Bong requested this specifically.
He's gonna bleed through his eyes, nose, mouth, ears, and rectum.
a butt flap, which makes him even more vulnerable.